Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to give it a minute or so to let people join and use the restroom real quick between meetings, but we'll get going in a minute. Feel free to chat in where you're from, what organization you're with, where you're located and based out of. Now that everyone is so remote these days, we want to know. Looks like we have some more people joining us. Hi, everyone. We're going to get going in just a few seconds, just letting people hop on in from other meetings. I know we're right at the top of the hour. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to chat in where you're from. We want to know. Alrighty, let's get going. We'll give it another minute as I do some intros for people to join us, but we have an awesome session today. My name is Kelsey DuPont. I am with Daxko. So excited that you've joined us for today's session on how Netchex makes staff engagement and HR compliance a complete breeze. During today's session, we're going to discuss how when using Daxko and Netchex together, you can eliminate a lot of manual processes and make staff and membership management much more streamlined for your association. We're super proud to partner with Netchex for a variety of reasons. Their value and commitment to excellent customer service. In fact, they have one of the highest customer satisfaction rates in the industry. Their work with nonprofits, including YMCAs, and their expertise of understanding your needs. And of course, their overall suite of solutions that will save you time and risk of errors. Before we jump in, I do want to just let everybody know all participants have been muted just to cut down on some background noise, but we do want this to be super engaging, so feel free to chat in questions along the way. I'll be monitoring the chat, but we also will have time at the end to have some more time for Q&A. And with that, I am going to hand it over to Chris, and thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. Appreciate that. So glad to be with you guys today. I'm going to turn this video off. I'll be here. Just wanted to quick say hi on video, but then we'll turn that off so it kind of gives you that space back on your monitor. So like Kelsey mentioned, my name's Chris Roig. I am a senior sales engineer with Netchex. I've been with Netchex for about 11 years now. The majority of that 11 years was actually spent on the customer support side. So my background is actually kind of an operational background before moving into this role at pre-sales. And really excited about this partnership that we're launching with Daxko. You know, I've been working with our clients and specifically clients in the healthcare space now for a number of years. In fact, Franco's Health Club down here in Covington, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans, was actually our fourth client and still a client of ours today. So we've been working in kind of the health club and nonprofit space. I know you guys kind of blend both of those worlds for quite some time. In fact, I've been working with those types of groups my entire career. For those of you that may not know who Netchex is, allow me to just kind of introduce Netchex to you. So Netchex has been around the block for some time now. We've been in business for almost 20 years. Today, we serve over 5,000 clients in all industries and in all 50 states. And to keep those clients happy, we really strive to maintain those super high retention rates that we're proud of. 95% of our clients stick with us, including Franco's, who's still a happy client of ours some 18 years later. You'll also kind of notice a few familiar logos here as we look at some of the clients we support today on the left side of the screen. YMCA, one of our loyal clients, as well as Goodwill, Crossgate Gyms, Pelican Athletic Center, Camp Gladiator, who you'll hear a little more about on a future slide, and several other of your peers in the health club and nonprofit spaces. But enough about us. Let's talk a little bit about you guys. You know, when it comes to HR, there's something that I've really learned in my 10 years in this business. I've learned that HR is a lot like dynamite. You might be like, well, Chris, like dynamite? Well, yeah, you've heard people say, hey, big things come in little packages like dynamite, right? Well, when you look at those two little letters, HR, I mean, wow, they cover a lot. I mean, look at all the different hats here that an HR professional has to wear. Payroll, benefits, compliance. And at Netchex, we understand how challenging it is to effectively manage the most crucial part of your organization, the staff that keeps it running. I mean, from ever-changing compliance to cutting edge recruitment, to performance and career track management to keep your good employees, to tracking and managing labor costs. I mean, you guys are even stepping in sometimes to lead a fitness class. And all of that's essential. So how do you prioritize where to focus and what to do? And this is really where a full suite technology partner that's partnered with Daxko can really come in to make a big impact for your organization. As we look at some of the challenges that companies are facing today in managing the responsibilities of HR and compliance, we typically find that you fall into one or more of these four buckets. Either you've got a lot of manual processes that waste time, that create potential for errors, or maybe you've got a system, but a system that isn't really helping you get work done efficiently and can feel more like a Band-Aid than an actual solution. Sometimes it's groups that have multiple systems that on their own, they work fine, but they don't interact well together. And so I find the need to constantly update each system with what I did in the other system. Or sometimes it's just a struggle to get the service you need from the software providers and the vendors you've partnered with. And so let's kind of look at a couple of quotes from some happy Netchex clients who were experiencing some of these same challenges. You'll see 4 quotes on this slide from groups that have seen real improvements in their day-to-day life after switching to Netchex. And I want to share one of these stories with you. It's about Megan Gann of Camp Gladiator, who Megan's one of Netchex's biggest fans, and candidly, we love her right back. Before her partnership with Netchex, everything at Camp Gladiator was tracked in Excel and or Google Docs, which meant no connection to payroll, no connection to her other systems. She had to rely on accounting to pull reports or to get data when she needed it. And then they were on ADP, but they had limitations that made not only payroll difficult, but difficulty with onboarding employees, difficulty with enrollment. And we also had unnecessarily manual processes. And you guys know more manual work means more time, energy, and money wasted, and time, energy, and money that we now can't put towards our mission. As a fast-growing company, Camp Gladiator was constantly in need of hiring, of onboarding, of reporting, and Netchex was the perfect solution for them. Retention was a big key for them to continue to run their business successfully, especially in the field that we're all in, that's as competitive and personalized as the fitness space. And so Camp Gladiator wanted to be able to ensure that their onboarding, their open enrollment experience for their new hires was seamless and simple. And they were able to do exactly that by leveraging the Netchex tools like NetGuide and Net Benefits. And when it came to reporting and analyzing their labor costs, our Net Insight tool gave Megan and her team quick access to valuable data around time and attendance and labor and benefit spend to not only help manage those costs, but also help ensure they were in compliance at every step. And in addition to all this, Megan's favorite part about Netchex is the service and support. Each one of our accounts is assigned to a specific service team, not just one specific person. And what this does is it allows for greater understanding of each account. So our teams understand you, your detailed needs, your industry. But with that team, you don't have to worry about a service representative who left the company, got promoted, or went out of town, and having to either start over with somebody new or have an unanswered question that's left hanging. With Netchex, your team is there to efficiently and professionally take on any issues you might have and solve them with a smile. And that's a story we hear time and again from our clients who are saving an average of $50,000 in business impact and 17 hours per month or per pay period, on eliminating their manual processes. And so we're talking about real world ROIs. So let's talk about how we make that happen. As we walk through things like payroll, tax, benefits, what we find works best is focusing on themes that you can utilize to help make your group better. Now, these buckets that we spoke of earlier really start to come to life across these 4 themes: engagement, compliance, service, and integration. As we look at engagement, it really doesn't take a whole lot to realize that employee engagement today is huge. There's a labor shortage. The demand for talent is unprecedented. And so our recruiting tools, our onboarding tools, time, payroll, benefits, performance, they were all designed to be mobile accessible to your employees, your managers, and your administrators. And what that means is that your team can now take advantage of exactly what you need them to know, when you need them to know it, so that they can take action directly on their phone for things like punching in, enrolling in benefits, updating payroll data like tax or personal information. With our analytics tools, your HR team can see what's impacting the organization and make key recommendations proactively. We really define engagement as creating an always on employee experience with a mobile platform that reduces friction, that also allows for managers to give your employees feedback and encouragement through our performance management tools, and deliver that on a platform that's consistently voted one of the easiest to use in the market. And so all of our tools, from performance to learning, are really designed to help make sure your employees have what they need when they need it. We've even built platforms that can be used to help with social responsibility in our philanthropic efforts. As a nonprofit, there's lots of causes that we want to support. And this gives the employees an opportunity to get involved. It helps you really strengthen your employee brand perception so that as you're going out to find top talent, you have ways to systematically keep them engaged with your technology every day. And so here's how some of that comes to life for your employees. When it comes to managing the staff, we really want it to be simple enough that a frontline staff member can use and understand the platform with minimal or no training. And so as you can see here, staff is easily able to log in and view their pay stub, request time off, verify personal information, or enroll in benefits, all with just a click from the dashboard. What we found is that this dramatically reduces the call volume to you guys and empowers the staff members to act for themselves. For example, if they need a verification of employment for a loan or to refinance and they need to pull a pay stub or a W-2, they can easily do that right here from their dashboard, from their mobile phones. But we didn't forget about you. Although we need the platform to be easy to use and easy to understand, we also need it to be robust enough to handle what you guys need on a day-to-day basis. And so here's a look at our administrative dashboard. I like to call this our HR HQ. It's where you guys live on a day-to-day basis. Traditionally, the first thing our clients reference is here on the left, the HR calendar, where you can see things like birthdays, PTO requests, or even track expiration dates for professional licenses or certifications. You can also keep up with more complex items like onboarding, where you can easily see who's got open tasks, and more importantly, if there's anything that's slipped past due. We also make it easy to keep up with things like benefits and time right from your dashboard. Engagement also means engaging with your Netchex team. We've got a dedicated help section inside of the platform that can help answer your questions. We also provide accessibility to extensive online training materials and peer group interaction opportunities as well. And so now you've got the opportunity to go in and post a question or connect with other nonprofit leaders like yourself. And this has all been developed and put in place to help ensure that you guys are getting the most out of your investment in technology. And so as we look at engagement, we really focus on that from both sides, both from your side as an administrator and engaging your employees. The second bucket we looked at is compliance. Many of our clients have really found that compliance can be confusing and overwhelming. Sometimes we don't even realize the full scope of compliance or the amount of change that happens each year. And maybe you guys as the HR professional do, but sometimes it evades the C-suite. There's important areas we have to focus on, like minimum wage, overtime, E-Verify, FMLA, ACA, not to mention all the latest rounds of laws we got with COVID-19. And so a lot of these laws have even changed in the last 18 months, as well as the reporting requirements that go with them. For example, we recently introduced new W-4 reporting. At Netchex, we believe it's critical for compliance to be blended into the fabric of the Netchex application so that your organization is never at risk to go off the rails. Whether it's minimum wage, E-Verify, new legislation, ACA compliance like you see on the screen, we make sure we're keeping you guys in compliance at every step. And if scaling the business is important to you and you've got growth opportunities to make an even bigger impact in your mission, Netchex is able to partner with you in every phase of your business growth. Your different industries have unique employee pay practices, as well as unique requirements related to where you are in the space you're in. For example, you might have employees who are working in 3 states, and each state, they're subject to different minimum wage laws. You could have different types of employees, exempt, non-exempt, full-time, part-time, and that can change the regulations and how you're required to comply with things like ACA or EEO. And Netchex can partner with you in every stage of your growth to ensure that as you kind of unlock new legislation and add to your employee counts, we're helping point you in the right direction to keep you in compliance. Most importantly, though, all of this technology is backed with one of the highest rated customer service teams in the industry. Companies often talk about strong service as part of their solution. Unfortunately, what we found is that a lot of times we can't provide data to validate that claim or to demonstrate what it's worth to you as a client. Now on the screen, you can see we're pretty proud of our stats, but it's really our people who make the difference. And at Netchex, we measure our service experience and how we're providing that experience for you every single day on every front and in every action. And what we learned over our years is that one dedicated support person wasn't enough for a fast-moving business. And so that's why we've developed our service teams. So you'll have a dedicated team of highly trained associates, each one familiar with you, your business, and the nonprofit space as a whole. And every time you engage with one of the members of our team, we'll ask you to just grade the quality of your service. Give us a quick, how'd we do? Now, we're proud to say that we average a 4.8 out of 5 stars from our clients' customer satisfaction. We've also published our service level agreements, establishing timeframes and expectations for when a particular challenge might be resolved. Now, oftentimes we're able to resolve that on the first call, but sometimes you might stump us, but you'll know exactly how long it'll take to get that issue resolved by allowing us to set the proper expectation through our service level agreement. This also helps us ensure that we're holding ourselves accountable and living up to our promises. We also incorporate the principles of peer sharing and learning among our clients with our net community offerings. We're interested in the welfare of our clients, and we show that with things like rapid response and providing vital updates to our team through this pandemic and all of the situations related to COVID-19 and the ensuing legislation. And in the end of all of that, the results really speak for themselves. Our 95% retention rate and our NPS score of 72, which is on par with companies like Apple or Costco, really are top of the heap as it comes to HR tech companies. But we don't stop with service. We also recognize that, well, to say the least, we live in a very highly connected world. In business today, HRIS and payroll typically serve as the system of record. And the Netchex platform is super strong as a standalone, and we've got lots of customers that use it very effectively in that way. However, we also realize that there are other tools that you've already invested in, and that you want to ensure that your HR or HCM technology works with those tools to help drive additional efficiencies in your business, especially as we look at tools like back office financials and GL reporting. And look, we're really proud of our capabilities around GL integration, our ability to output data to Excel, carrier integrations with your benefits providers, file feeds, and our API library. And so on this slide, we're excited to announce that we're adding a new logo. Hot off the presses, we are going to be able to integrate with Daxko as your accounting solution so that after payroll, you'll be able to simply download a file from Netchex and then import that back into Daxko to update all of your journal entries. So we are super excited to be launching that integration together as we take this partnership to the next step with Daxko and Netchex to really be able to provide you guys with just a better opportunity and a better way. So as we recap, there's incredible value in giving Netchex a chance. We'd love to see how we can improve your operations. We love the nonprofit space, and we know how valuable your time and your budgets are. And together, we can work together to be able to find a solution that works for you to help you capture some of the ROI that you see on the screen here. And hey, if you guys have any additional questions, you feel free to put those in the chat box for us. If you'd like to see a live demo, don't hesitate to reach out to us at the email on the screen, or you can also visit our landing page at info.netchex.com/Daxko. And just note, be sure to put that info in front of that .netchex. If you go to just netchex.com/Daxko, it won't take you to the right place. So make sure you type info.netchex.com/Daxko for more. Awesome. Looks like Kelsey's got that in the chat box for us here.
Yep. Chris just posted it, and we'll be sure to send this out after as well. Everyone, feel free to chat in questions that you might have. We do already have one that I'll ask. Someone has mentioned that they've been on ADP for a while and that it's doing okay. What is different about Netchex and ADP?
Hey, that's a great question, Kelsey. And look, we get that all the time. And really, there's two key differences that our clients find with Netchex and say an ADP. And the first is going to be technology. We constantly hear that, man, this is so much easier, not only for our employees who are able to quickly and easily find the things they need, but also for our administrators. Netchex is a true single database. So we don't have to spend time updating things in different parts of the application or waiting for something to sync from this side to that side. And so one of the first things that our clients tell us after a switch from an ADP is, oh my gosh, this technology is so much more friendly and easier for us to use, which ultimately means more time and more energy that we can put into our overall mission. The second big place is customer support. We talk to clients all the time who are experiencing things like long hold times, submitting an email or a ticket and never hearing back days or even weeks later, calling and talking to different people in different departments with different answers, or having to be transferred around when they have a question. Sometimes we even hear, hey, I've got a dedicated support rep, but then they find out, oh, that's just for payroll. If my question's about a time card or a GL integration, I've got to talk to somebody different. And with your Netchex support team, our average hold time to talk to a live person on your team is under 60 seconds. We resolve about 70 to 80% of our questions on the very first call. And of course, you've seen some of those customer satisfaction ratings. So you'll definitely see a big difference. Plus, each member of your team is cross-trained in the entire application. So whether your question's about a time card or a GL account mapping, you're talking to the same person who can help with both of those areas. So long answer to say, two major areas you'll see a difference are technology and customer support.
Thanks, Chris. And we do have one other question. And for those of you who haven't chatted in any questions, feel free to do so. We do have some time. The other question is specifically around WISE. Does Netchex support the WISE retirement plan?
Oh, yes, the YMCA. So yes, we work with YMCAs across the country, and we are familiar with the retirement plan needs that you guys have. And we are able to provide you the reporting that you need to be able to submit that to your retirement plan providers. So we are familiar with that. We have worked with YMCAs in the past. Yeah, great question.
Awesome. I don't see any other questions coming in, but for those of you who do want to learn more, definitely check out that link I posted in the chat box. Chris, is there anything else you want to close out with?
So I'll just say, hey, thanks so much for taking the time today, guys. I hope you found some value in what we were able to show you, and we would love the opportunity to talk with you more. and maybe talk specifically about some of the areas where you may be struggling in one of those 4 buckets: manual processes, systems that don't really help you get your work done, integration needs, or customer support. We'd love to be able to talk more about how a partnership with Netchex and Daxko could really help take your organization to the next level. So appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.